For our audiences, would you tell me a little bit about the film?
So our film, The Salamander King, is about a group of ragtag misfits who run a rundown public golf course in Austin, Texas. And very quickly, when the movie starts, Sam Lambert shows up and tells them that this is not financially feasible. And
she works for the city. She's trying to come in and actually help save it, to be honest with you.
Yep.
To try to like find a feasible option for them to actually utilize the finances, but there are none. So she has to work around that ultimately.
Sure. Or the golf course will be sold. So what ensues is, a found family trying to save their beloved home.
And in true form, of course, she ends up falling in love with everybody as well, because it's hard not to. This whole group of misfits and who represent this amazing city, and I think she finally finds herself too.
Yeah. The thing that I fell in love with when I first read it was that it is a sort of underdog sports story. We don't have a lot of golf in the movie. It's more about the characters, but it has that underdog feeling of, there's no way in hell that these people are going to win. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, good triumphs over evil. And hopefully we all, feel good in the end.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the tone that you were able to keep all the way through it.
Thank you.
I mean, the characters really drive this film. Tell me about some of the characters you had to deal with.
That's a good question.
Well, when you're making a comedy, you hire the funniest people you can, and comedy's interesting because it can get a little competitive, and people want to get in their jokes and their improvs, and I want them to, but it can also get a little wild and out of hand, and it's my job to wrangle and rein them in, and that happened on this movie. There was moments where I was like, go wild, and there was moments where I was like, okay, calm down, that's enough, we got to move on.
Your character, Sam, has to deal with that guy.
That guy.
I don't want him. That fiance of yours was.
Oh yeah. I know.
In your mind, in your backstory, in your mind, how did Sam?
We had to actually. Austin and I worked through that because it was like that was one of my concerns and one of your concerns, like how this guy's he's so douchey. Like why would Sam be with this person? And that was kind of that idea, was that they got together when he was just starting out, just starting a tech company, just like a nerd and a passion and an idea. So of course, in like a lot of ways that I've seen in some of my friendships actually, who've stayed with people because of where they started. And so I think that she's just kind of went with him on his journey, but kind of lost herself along the way.
And he changed. And so she's just been on his coattails for a while and got really insecure about something that happened to her with her job. And so, and he obviously just keeps weirdly abusing that. Kind of gaslighting. Yeah. And so you kind of see, and I think that, one of the other main characters really shows her the greatness that she has and possesses, and she finds herself again because of this group of misfits. It's all of them. She falls in love with all of them, and I think she sees herself in them too. That's true. I mean, he starts out as a flower and becomes a weed. Yes, and that happens quite a bit. People change, and you keep idolizing the feeling you had in the beginning. You had great supporting characters. Talk to me about how you work them into the story. We had an amazing casting director, Ashley Guaranya, and some of these people are my friends that I begged to come do the movie, and was so lucky so lucky to get them. And then some of the others we had to go out wide and have people audition and make tapes and find the right fit. And thank God I had such a great casting director, because that is a real skill and a real trick and a real art in itself, is finding a group that the Tetris pieces lock together and it works. It's really, really not easy, and it doesn't always work, and sometimes the movie suffers, and I got really lucky. This group just felt like they'd known each other for a long time. And a lot of us had worked together before. Bill Wise I'd worked with on actually 2 other films, and Temple Baker I worked with as well. Like, because I feel like, you know, when you make Austin films, you tend to work with the same Austin actors that are awesome. So it did feel like coming home. And Ryan Hansen I'd worked with before, and you'd worked with, obviously. So it just felt like a family immediately.
Yeah, I have a funny story. There's an actor named Joe Hersley who plays Sir James, and he only has 2 or 3 scenes in the movie, but he's so good and so impactful. But he was a guy I met in LA a million years ago. He was called Karaoke Joe in my telephone because he had a karaoke night. And me and my brother-in-law used to go to this karaoke night, and he would dress like in funny clothes and wear headbands and like 80s clothes, and hadn't seen him in years. And a tape comes in for Sir James with Joe Hersley, and I knew after 5 seconds that I was going to hire him because he was so funny.
He's so good.
That's awesome. Now, Brad, who plays such a wonderful semi-bad guy.
He's good at that.
His background, though, he spent the last 25 years on the committee to protect Muni. He did such a great job on being a bad guy in this movie.
Yeah.
He did, and I another person I got really lucky with, because what Brad does so well is he can play a bad guy, but he's lovable. And he doesn't, to me, he doesn't come off as supervillain. He comes off as more interesting because he has a big heart and he's a sweet guy in real life. And so when he plays a bad guy, there's something more interesting going on, and it works so well. So he
feels like a real politician, and you know, Brad's like family, you know. But I mean, he did that with Buddy, Buddy Garrity on Friday Night Lights. I mean, he transformed this real jerk character into like one of the most beloved household names, because you can't help but love him. So, but yeah, he did play like a really good politician in this, where he ends up he acquiesces because he has to, because otherwise he's going to lose all of his followers, you know. I
want to point out a moment that I'm editing the movie, right? And I'm watching this scene over and over and over again in City Council with you and Brad. And I didn't even see this moment until I'd watched the movie 100 times. But right when Dylan comes in, the look on Brad's face is so good. It's subtle, but it's so powerful. And I hope people find it and they see it, because it took me a while to see it. But you just see the politician and the big tech giant in bed together, and it's this, and you go, oh wow, and it's really cool. And I don't even think I asked him for it. I didn't even direct it. He did it, and it happened, and I'm so grateful.
That's what I love about good actors. Is there anything that you want to talk to me about the film that we haven't talked about?
Really, at the end of the day, we wanted to make a movie that people would love, feel something, leave the theater
and feel good,
talk to their friends about it, tell people about it. And you know, I love movies that I want to watch again. I love comedies that I want to revisit, and a lot of movies out there are brilliant, and they're, you know, win Academy Awards, but I don't want to watch them again.
They're one-offs. You're like, I'll never see that again.
And that's fine, but like, I don't know why. I really wanted to make a movie that something you'd want to put on again and talk about and
be quoted.
Yeah, exactly.
Something you want to quote.
Yeah.
Something you want to quote.
This one's going to be up there with PCU, Caddyshack.
I love PCU.
You know,
we don't talk about that.
Oh, that's very nice.
You know, some of those, we love those films.
Yeah.
We do.
From your lips to God's ears. I hope so. Thank you.
So, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
I just think it's such a pleasure when you get to work with some of your dearest friends and they happen to be really good at their jobs. So, no, getting to work with Austin was so wonderful, and getting to ask to be in this film was such an honor. And I mean, every day I went to set, I told him I didn't want to go home, which has not happened in a really long time. Even after I was wrapped, I was like, do you guys don't need me for anything else? I just want to hang out. And the idea of this possibly even in the future maybe becoming a television series, and like wanting to be on that and feeling like this is something I'd want to do for the rest of my life, because he created this world for us, and it was just fabulous.
That's awesome. Thank you. Oh.
I'll take it. Let's go. TV show. Here we go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.